Sometimes the best way to understand a really big idea isn't with a bunch of charts and graphs, but with a story. So let's dive into one. A story set in a futuristic city called Northbridge about an engineer who's about to face a challenge that seems absolutely impossible. And through his story, we're going to get a handle on one of the most exciting developments happening in AI today.
So let's meet our hero. This is Liam. In Northbridge, he's basically a legend. He's the person everyone calls when a problem seems unsolvable. But even legends can hit a wall. Liam is brilliant, no doubt about it, but he is completely and totally overwhelmed, facing a crisis that's just too big for any one person to handle.
All right, so just how big of a problem are we talking about here? Well, to put it simply, it was city-sized.
I want you to just imagine what his day-to-day was like. We're not talking about a problem a week. We're talking a brand new, full-blown crisis every single day. Picture him just surrounded by these walls of monitors, all screaming failure alerts. It's this constant, relentless battle, and honestly, he's just exhausted. And here's where you can really see the domino effect in action. It wasn't just one thing going wrong. It was a total cascade. First, the core infrastructure starts to buckle. Then, the traffic AI goes haywire, which means emergency teams are trapped. And, to top it all off, the communication networks just collapse. Everything was connected, and everything was breaking at once. And that brings us to this one stormy night, a real turning point. He's pushed to his absolute limit, and he just whispers something that's about to change everything. It's not a command, it's not a line of code, it's just this desperate wish. He realizes he doesn't just need a better tool. He needs a partner, something that can actually think.
And you know what? Little did he know, someone or something was listening. His quiet plea? It's about to get a very, very unexpected answer.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, 4 luminous, almost holographic figures just appear in his lab. They're tall, thin, and they look like they're made of living software. And their introduction? It's so simple, but so powerful.
So Liam is just frozen, staring. He can't believe what he's seeing. And then the second figure speaks, adding its own piece to the puzzle. This isn't just an introduction, it's a declaration of what they can do.
And then the third one chimes in. See what's happening? Each word builds on the last. It's not random. This introduction reveals an intelligent design. They're a team, and each one has a very specific job.
And then, bam, the fourth and final line. Observe, plan, act. Just think about that. In 4 simple words, they've completely changed the game. They don't just process data, they get things done.
So of course Liam is just like, what? He has to ask what they mean, and they explain that they're a totally new kind of AI, one that can actually think for itself. It's not just following a script, right? It's goal-based, it's self-directed, it's alive with purpose.
And then, as if on cue, all the city alarms just erupt. A major water pump has failed, 3 whole districts are about to flood, traffic is at a complete standstill, communications are dead. It's the absolute worst-case scenario. But for the agents, well, this is the perfect chance to show Liam what they can do, not just tell him.
So while Liam is scrambling, ready to run out the door, the agents just begin. And their process is this beautifully simple yet incredibly powerful 4-step loop. First, observe the situation. Then, plan a solution. Then, act on that plan. And finally, coordinate all the moving parts.
Okay, so step 1, observe. This is absolutely crucial. The observer agent instantly starts pulling in just massive streams of data, water pressure readings, weather forecasts, drainage system maps, traffic data, you name it. In seconds, it's not just collecting facts, it's building this complete, live picture of the entire crisis.
All right, with that full picture, it's time for step 2, plan. The planner agent takes all that data and, get this, in less than 10 seconds, it builds a complex, multi-layered solution. It's like a strategic masterpiece, breaking that big goal of stop the flood into all these precise, synchronized actions. A plan way more complex than any human could possibly come up with in that amount of time.
And this right here, this is the real game changer. Step 3, act. The action agent doesn't email Liam a list of suggestions. It doesn't ask for permission. It has the goal, it has the plan, so it just starts doing. It's reprogramming traffic lights, it's activating backup systems, deploying drones all on its own. It acts.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Step 4. Coordinate. The coordinator agent is basically the conductor of this AI orchestra. It makes sure the observer is feeding in new data, the planner is tweaking the strategy in real time, and that all the actions are happening in perfect harmony.
So what happened? What was the result of this incredible, super-fast collaboration between these 4 intelligent agents? Well, the outcome was, honestly, nothing short of a miracle. Right outside Liam's window, the chaos just calmed down. The floodwaters actually started to recede. Traffic started moving again. The city's systems stabilized. For the first time in years, Northbridge faced a massive crisis, and instead of collapsing into chaos, it healed itself.
So Liam, who's just completely stunned, says to the agents, "You saved the city." But the planner agent offers a really important correction. "No, Liam," it says, "you gave us the goal. We simply thought, planned, and acted." See, this wasn't the AI taking over, it was a partnership. Liam, the human, set the goal, save the city. The agents just figured out how.
This whole story, from Liam's total frustration to the city's amazing recovery, it's all been illustrating one huge concept. So let's break down what that is.
Okay, so here's the key difference, boiled down. Traditional AI, it's a tool. It follows very specific instructions. It needs you to give it commands and then confirm them. But agentic AI, that's more like a teammate. It thinks to understand the goal, it plans the best way to get there, and then it acts on its own to make it happen. This really changes our role, doesn't it? We go from being an operator to being a director. We focus on the what, and we let our AI partners handle the how. And if you want the more formal but still pretty simple definition, here it is. Agentic AI systems are designed to perceive what's going on around them, make decisions based on that information, and then take actions independently, all to achieve a specific goal, exactly what the agents did for Liam and Northbridge.
You know, Liam's story isn't just some cool science fiction. It's really a metaphor for a whole new way of working together, humans and technology. We're moving away from an era where we give machines instructions and into an era where we give them goals. And that leaves us with a pretty inspiring question to think about. If just one person working with AI agents can save an entire city, what could we all achieve together?